Hey guys, Ryan here for Bender Wins. Hope everyone's doing well today. Here with your daily free picks. Okay guys, so brand new week, Monday is here. That basically means one thing guys, time to resize your units, right? So it's important you get in the habit every single Monday of looking at your bankroll and resizing your units, okay? So for me personally, I have one bankroll for sports betting, okay? Some pros have different bankrolls for different sports, and they will swear by that. They will say that, no, you have to have a football bankroll and you have to have a baseball bankroll and a futures bankroll and blah, blah, blah. That's not me. I have one bankroll, so it's pretty easy for me to resize my units. It's important though, I mean, I see their side of the coin, what they're looking at. I keep very detailed records of my win rates per sport, et cetera, et cetera. So, I feel comfortable having one bankroll. So if you just have the one bankroll, it's pretty easy to resize it. A lot of new viewers. So again, if you haven't seen my video on bankroll management, definitely check that out because it is the single most important aspect in sports betting. It is the difference between a long-term winning player and a loser. Okay. Quite simply. I mean, I see online, in the Facebook groups. I'm sure you guys see this all the time. Like I see people, they have like 8-game parlays and like they're always posting, I just missed, and they went 7-1. I say, well, that's pretty damn good, but you just lost money going 7-1. So again, if these people would stop doing parlays and teasers and all the stuff that Vegas loves and just practice proper bankroll management where you're not betting 10% of your bankroll in one game, these guys are probably making some money because some of them get lucky, but some of them actually can pick games. And it's frustrating for me to see like that, again, they're kind of throwing their money away, right? So it's important you guys do that. Again, if I'm getting really, really fast, you should watch the video on bankroll management. But if you haven't seen it, guys, if you're a professional doing this, you'd probably know this already, 1% of your bankroll. Okay, that's what you're betting. 1% of your bankroll. That's pretty much it. Okay, as an amateur player with a static bankroll. So amateur player static bankroll, meaning your bankroll is not going to change this year. You've put that money aside to bet on sports and you're not going to be adding to it at all. You should be betting 2 to 3% of your bankroll per game. Now, if you're an amateur sports bettor and you don't mind throwing a few bucks in if your bankroll gets too low, or maybe you've decided that, every couple of paychecks you're going to throw 100 here, 100 there, you can bet 4 to 5%, okay? Now, 5% is the absolute cap, and at those levels, I would always recommend going at the minimum level. So as, someone with a static bankroll, I would recommend, 2%. If you want to go 3, go 3, but don't go higher. I would recommend 4% for the casual sports bettor. But if you want to go 5, go 5. But you cannot go higher than that. You pretty much have to stick to this. If you go outside the boundaries of that, guys, variance plays too much of a role and the swings will absolutely wipe you out, okay? Trust me, I've been doing this a long time, okay? A long, long, long time. The biggest game changer in my life really was, I guess first the discovery of bankroll management, in my early 20s, many, many, many years ago. And then a number of years later, the discovery that if I actually stuck to it, it was effective. Because in all honesty, guys, the stuff I'm teaching you, I didn't really have a mentor in this, okay? I didn't. I read a ton of stuff. I took it upon myself to learn every single thing. I still learn. I make a note to read as much stuff as I can every single day. So I'm constantly learning. But I didn't have someone to say, don't do that, you're going to lose. And I don't know, I guess after a while, it was like the definition of insanity, just doing the same thing over and over again, building up my bankroll and going on these massive, crazy runs, and then just losing it all because of bankroll management. And it's like, really, ultimately, how many times can you relive that same nightmare again and again and again before you just go crazy and quit sports betting? And you know what? I mean, had I not discovered bankroll management and gone through that hardship and pain, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. So, I mean, I'm thankful for it. I certainly wouldn't say I was thankful for it back in the time when I was, blowing up my bankroll every 3 or 4 months. But learning from that and finding that aha moment where I said, if I just stick to this, I will make a shit ton of money. And it's true. Okay. It's crazy. And I know you guys, like, deep down inside, you want to hit that big parlay. You know, you want to have $100 parlay that pays you out $15,000. But you know what? If you stick to bankroll management, guys, eventually you can get paid out $10,000, $15,000, you know, not every week, but a lot of weeks, right? So do it, guys, please. Anyways, that's enough of that. Happy Monday. Yesterday, we went 2-2. And as someone pointed out on here, and they're absolutely right, we should have switched our 2-unit plays with the 1-unit plays, because we went 0-2 for our 2-unit plays. We won both our 1-unit plays, and to me, that's very, very frustrating. So right now, we're 50%. We've hit 50% of our 2-unit plays since sports came back, which is like, it's mind-boggling to me, because again, anything I'm putting out that's a 2-unit play, I'm expecting it to hit close to 60%. And again, the reality is probably, you know, 57 to 61, it's going to fall within that range, but 50% sucks. And again, I know we're dealing with like a small sample size, but anyways, we hopefully move forward. You know, hopefully everyone had a good week overall last week, but a brand new week now, so let's get cracking. I have, again, guys, I have 3 plays in total for you guys. And again, 2-unit plays. Above and beyond that, guys, if you're in the masterclass full card, I have 5 additional plays above and beyond that. So I will get that video be posted around the same time as this one. So for you guys, I have a hockey, I have a WNBA, and I have an NBA play for you guys. I'm going to break down both 2-unit plays, and again, just kind of walk you guys through why they're 2-unit plays, and maybe explain what qualifies as a 2-unit play. Okay, so first off, guys, in order to be a 2-unit play, there has to be lots of things that line up in the games. Okay, there has to be an expectation, a minimum expectation of high 50 into 60% range or higher in these games. Okay, if there's contradictory things such as, you know, steam, reverse line moves, that will disqualify that. Okay, there are games that I do bet against steam, and I bet against reverse line moves. Not often, because I like everything to line up, but there would never be a 2-unit play where I would do that. Okay, that being said, guys, I'm going to get into the first one here. So this might sound familiar to some of you guys. Colorado and Dallas in hockey under 6. Okay, so yesterday, guys, we had Colorado and Dallas as a 2-unit play. We lost that one. Yesterday is not exactly what you would call a typical hockey game. 11 power plays in an NHL playoff game is rare. To give you guys an idea, a physical series that's going on right now, Philadelphia and the Islanders had 2 power plays in yesterday's game. Okay, 2 power plays versus 11. Not many games going to finish under with 11, but as these series progress later in the NHL playoffs, guys, teams knuckle down and they become more disciplined, okay? It ultimately becomes about winning the series and winning the Stanley Cup, not, you know, who's going to retaliate at who for whatever they did, okay? The numbers are there to back this up, guys. I said this yesterday. Games with a total of 6 or higher in games 4 or later. So games 4 or later in the series, games 4 or later, with a total of 6 or more, was 48-17. It's now 48-18. Okay, we lost yesterday. Now let's go forward one more game to game 5. Okay, total of 6 or higher, game 5 or beyond, 30 wins, 7 losses. 81.1% of the time that goes under. How many times have you guys had me come out and tell you guys about a system, a fairly simplistic system, that hits 81% of the time? Not much, okay? Now, above and beyond that, guys, what else do we know about this game? Played last night, right? Okay, what happens in the playoffs for teams that have played on back-to-back nights? Okay, it goes under 55% of the time, okay? So, again, guys, we have a number of things lining up. I love the under in this game. I do. And again, the whole world saw what happened in last night's game. I mean, it was a shootout. That's the only way you can put it. But again, guys, it's worthy of being a 2-unit play regardless. So we are going 2 units, Colorado Dallas under 6 goals. All right. Colorado Dallas under 6 goals, 2 units. All right. Next game, guys, as well, a 2-unit play in the WNBA. So our WNBA has been going very well this year. I have a nice little system here, guys. So, again, I think I talked about this on a previous video. I'm not going to dive into exactly what this system is, just because a lot of movement in the WNBA, or a lot of bets in WNBA causes movement of lines. No question about it. It's a thinly bet sport. People do not bet it much. So Vegas gets sensitive to a whole bunch of people blasting money on a game all at once. And I find value with this system quite often, and I will share it with you guys. And you call me greedy if you want, but I'm getting my bet in first because I do this for a living and that's what pays my bills. So I'm getting my bet in first, and then I will happily pass this along to you guys. But the system is even a little bit better than normal. Okay, so this system, guys, it hits 60.3% of the time. So just over 60% of the time. But, and it doesn't happen too often here. If you take the favorite and they're playing on back-to-back nights, the system is 7-1. 7-1 all time. Okay, now I know it's a small sample size, guys, but there's something to it. I was looking at the totals that these games are hitting, and they're not just hitting, they're hitting by a lot. Okay, they're going well over. Okay, now if you take these totals and you eliminate anything that's over 165, it's 4-0. Okay, it's 4-0 in this system. So what we're going to do, guys, is it's LA and Minnesota. So LA, Minnesota going over 159.5. So over 159.5 for LA, Minnesota. All right. That's also, guys, it's a 2-unit play. Okay, so those are your 2-unit plays today. Over 159.5 LA, Minnesota. Again, guys, I mean, 2-unit plays, they're rare. The fact we've had them 3 days in a row, blessing, I guess. I don't know, but I mean, we lost both of them yesterday. So again, it's frustrating. But again, guys, if you're betting with math and the long-term trends and all that, eventually, guys, you could ultimately really, you can come up with all kinds of different trends, but it's important that, you kind of focus on relevant trends. Okay. And then believe me, guys, this system is very relevant, as is the playoff system. When you're talking about, there's a reason why the system works, guys. And when you start talking about like in the playoffs, teams they knuckle down, play more defense later in the series. So anyways, guys, it's important if you're looking at trends that you do that. Okay. Next, guys, last one. I have Houston and OKC. So Houston, OKC, we're going under 226.5. So going under 226.5. Shop around, guys. Most books are 226.5, but I've seen a couple 227s out there. So do shop around if you're at a few books, because why not take an extra half point for free, right? There's apps. If you guys live in Vegas and given the times, you don't mind driving around, you can find different lines of different books. You can go online if you don't mind driving. And again, I think some people are going to say, oh, well, I'm not going to drive somewhere for half a point. But if that half a point, depending how much you're betting, if that half a point saves you $500, or another day makes you $500 or $1,000 or $5,000, then get off your ass and off you go, right? It's every half point is creating value. So anyways, guys, we're taking it under 226.5. So under 226.5. NBA games, guys, NBA playoff games 6 and 7, again, later in the series, getting less than 50% of the bets. So not money, but getting less than 50% of the bets covers 60.5% of the time. Okay. It just goes to show you how bad the public gets slaughtered in the NBA playoffs. So getting less than 50% of bets, game 6 and 7 covers 60% of the time. Now, above and beyond that, guys, we have a nice money distribution. Now, I would prefer the money bet on this game to be a little bit lower, but the early indication, guys, because this was taken like right around, I guess, 10:30 in the morning Eastern Standard Time, and you see where the sharps are early in this game. There's 34% of bets, 85% of money. That is a boatload of money on the under in this game, okay? And the public, obviously, with a lot of bets on the over, okay? Now, you're probably going to see that money distribution even out a little bit, and then right before game time, you're going to probably see some more money, maybe even steam come in on the under, okay? So anyways, guys, that's going to be our bet, 226.5 under Houston OKC. This was a very long video. I apologize for that. But again, guys, I wanted to get all that information out to you guys. So thank you guys very much. Really appreciate it. Best of luck this week. And as always, guys, have a very lucky day.